Now, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of Arc 2 of my In the Works tabletop RPG, Project Eyon. We are here with all of our players, as per usual, and we're going to continue onward into the frozen land of Farso. Gemini, we start with you. The rest of the evening passed without any sort of, any sort of drama or real happenings. You're awoken by a knock to your captain's cabin, however. And you hear from the other side, you hear Jasper. Captain Gemini, land is in sight if you're awake, sir.
Of course I'm awake. Prepare for dock.
Yes, sir. Do you exit out of your cabin?
Yep, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna go make sure my party mates are on the deck as we approach land.
You do so, and you find that your mates are all there, including the player characters as well. You've heard the commotion about land being in sight, and you've all come up to see, with the notable exception of Valan. You see Valan nowhere. Excuse me. He's, nowhere to be seen. You're not sure where he's at. And ahead of you, indeed, you see snow. And you know that you're approaching Farso very quickly. Up ahead, you can also see what appears to be a village of some sort. But from where you are, you don't see any signs of life in the village. You don't see any sort of smoke or people moving around or anything of that nature. Kasha, notably, when you see this village, you know that that's no Orcan village. That much more resembles the buildings that you've seen in Circa, actually. In the early days that there were a few Pandoran villages around, but they've, long since been abandoned due to the various treaties. So you're surprised, perhaps, to find that anybody is supposed to be there. As you guys are looking on, Chorus, he speaks up and he says, would you like me to go and see if I can spot anyone?
Yes, that would be fine. Just be cautious.
Of course. I will return momentarily. And he lifts off of the ground and begins to fly over to the buildings. Rowan looks over to you. He says, "This is the place, brother. It's where he told us to meet him at."
We need to be cautious.
Of course. It does seem really suspicious, doesn't it?
It does. Too suspicious.
Right. Well, Captain, you want to tell the men to be ready for anything, potentially?
Men, prepare for dock. Load the cannons. Be cautious.
There's a sort of murmur throughout your crew, and they give their various signs of accepting your order, and they begin to go and prepare these cannons that you've ordered them to prepare. But you notice, you get the general feeling that there's some hesitation and conflict there. It doesn't seem like it once was, where they followed your orders as sternly as they once had.
I pick up on this, and before they depart, I kind of I make the boat tip violently enough to make them remember the last time I did this to them.
All right, you hear a couple of whoas coming from like throughout the boat and the crowd as this is happening. You hear Jonah yell out, "What the hell was that?"
Just waking the boat up. Early morning and all.
Waking the boat. Okay. Can you not do that anymore?
It's up to the boat.
Right. Right. Of course. As you're approaching, you look around, and you hear the flapping of wings as you see Chorus returning. He touches back down on the boat, and you notice he's shivering like rather violently. There's no signs of anyone over there.
Warm yourself. Warm yourself by the fire.
And he goes below deck to presumably try and warm himself up a little bit.
One question: where we're from? Did we ever get? Is it ever this cold?
No. It is. It was cold in Circa. It was the middle of winter, and it was snowing. But this is like some next level cold. It's like, think like Antarctica, or I guess the North Pole, perhaps. It's really cold. You don't see how you could make it in this weather without some sort of like protection or source of warmth.
How would Kasha react to the cold?
The Orcan are native to this land, and they're they feel it, but they don't feel it as badly as the other races do.
Okay.
And within a few minutes, I'll say, like maybe like an hour to or so, you are in port. The dock creaks as you lay down your bridge to enter into this town. A few of your men are near the rails of your ship. They have their arms ready. They're wielding their rifles and such, looking out into this town, but there's nothing. Kasha, I'd like for you to go ahead and give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up my actual guide here, because the last time I was using an old version. I want you to go ahead and give me an attunement, perception, and mysticism roll. All three of those together for me, if you could.
What? No.
Huh? What's up?
No.
Oof, excuse me.
I just saw Kasha's roll earlier and was mildly confused.
Gotcha. Kasha, as you are familiar with this land, you're getting a sort of an eerie feeling coming from here. Farso, well, it's a very spiritual place. There are almost always different shades of the dead and other various outsiders roaming around this land. It's a sort of crossing over point, a borderland, if you will. And as you are approaching this place, this location in particular, you feel nothing. You don't feel the presence of any outsiders or spirits or shades or anything. It's like a dead zone, so to speak. This immediately puts you on guard, as you have never felt anything like this in your own homeland.
Yeah. Upon noticing all this, her face went from its usual "I'm at peace" type look to that of the most serious look that anyone has ever seen on her face.
Noticing this, one of your comrades, he speaks up. It's Jonah. He says, "Is something wrong, Kasha?"
Something's not right here.
Oh, that really answers a lot.
Spirits.
Spirits.
I can't feel them.
Well, I mean that's a good thing, right? I mean, if you don't sense anything, that means that nothing's going to jump out at us, right?
No, there's spirits all around. Shows, in a way, representation of life. Because without life, there's no death. Without death, there's no life. It's all one crazy circle.
So
this
what are you
land-
saying, though? I don't understand why this is so important. I don't see anything that's alive or dead. Well, besides us, of course.
This is just not natural.
How does
know
the
what
rest
to
of how does the rest of the party react to this?
The question is, do we know about like spirits?
Well, you probably have a basic understanding of outsiders. You've encountered demons before, as you can see. But you probably wouldn't have picked up on what Kasha picked up on because, of course, you're not familiar with this area at all. So, but yeah, you would have a basic understanding that there are immaterial beings out there, for sure. Okay, so I assume.
Interesting.
Okay,
Oh, Marcus.
Marcus went down
Yeah.
to another channel. Okay. Can I just drag him back up? There we go. Okay. With that being said, Rowan is actually the first one to step off the ship. And he goes down and he steps onto the creaky dock. Then he turns around and he says, "Well, brother, are you coming?"
Aye.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? And I'm not going to let the lack of something keep me from my prize.
We shall see.
You might want to order your crew to get the package ready then.
I want to
Captain.
meet the contact first.
All right. Well, I assume they're somewhere in this town. Let's go and find them.
Let's.
And together, your party, that is the NPC companions you have, and yourselves, of course.
I'm telling Evan to stay in my room.
Okay. He
And I'm
looks-
leaving Mr. Puppet on board with Evan.
Gotcha. As you give him this order, he's like, but why?
It's too dangerous. I don't know this man that well. Stay with Mr. Puppet. He'll protect you.
He lowers his head and he looks back up to you and he says, "Okay, I'll stay here."
Mr. Puppet takes his hand and guides him.
Okay. And you, and like I said, you and your companions make your way into this town. And yeah, it's dead quiet. And you actually get startled when you hear a creaking, just of a door behind you, and then it sort of slams on its hinges for a moment, but it's just getting caught in the wind. But you're definitely getting the feeling that something's not quite right here. I'm gonna say all of you are kind of getting that feeling now.
Now, are we on solid ice? Are we on earth? Are we floating on an iceberg?
It's frozen earth.
Okay.
There's probably a layer of permafrost is what you're walking on, pretty much.
Okay. How many buildings are there around us?
I would say it's a small village. Maybe like between 10 to 15 buildings, I would say.
Okay. No scent, no smoke, no fire, no nothing.
Nothing. It doesn't look like there's been anybody here for a very long time. And I'll go ahead and I'll say you look around for like any other signs, like, footprints or, something of that nature. You don't see any footprints either.
Hmm.
It's
Brother,
then-
what time did the contact say we would meet?
And as you're asking that question, you hear a man's voice calling to you from somewhere beyond the edge of the town. He says, "Hello there!"
Ah. There he is. What does the yeller look like?
As they get closer, as you're watching them, they seem to be carrying a rifle with them. They're using it as a sort of almost like a walking stick, I suppose. It has a knife attached to the end of it, and they are covered up in this thick layer of furs from different animals, like perhaps wolves or foxes or something of that nature. Kasha, you know that they don't look to be any of the animals from Farso, so they likely got this garment that they're wearing from somewhere else and brought it here. And they seem to be approaching you rather cautiously as they look over your group.
What do the individuals look like?
What does he look like?
Right.
You can't really discern any of his features underneath the thick layers of clothing he's wearing.
I'm gonna have my arms crossed, but one of my hands is on my pistol.
Gotcha. As he approaches, he stops about, I'll say, maybe 30 feet in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over to Rowan and he says, "Well, I have to say, this is a bit of a surprise." And he reaches up to his hood, still having one hand on his rifle as he removes his hood. And Gemini, you recognize this man, it's a Pandoran man, as the very same man that you made the deal with all those months back in Naveen.
Farfell.
Yep. He looks.
Farfell Fairwind.
He looks over to you. "That's my name. Don't overuse it."
Might we have a sit-down conversation?
Certainly. I would hope we could have this conversation somewhere warmer, though.
Sure, we have my good friend Marcus over here is a fire mage, and I'm sure he could conjure us up a fire as we sit and discuss our deals.
Certainly. You can just take some old wood from the buildings. No one is using them, as I'm sure you've ascertained by now.
Fantastic. Marcus, can you conjure up a flame for us? Maybe not.
Unless it freezes.
No, I'll say you're able to, after gathering a bit of tinder from these buildings, you make a fire, like a place for a fire. I'll say maybe in the center of the town, perhaps. And you're able to light it.
I was going to do that anyway. I'm cold.
Perfect.
Makes sense.
The snow is melting around the fire. Like, can I see earth or no underneath it?
Yes, you can see Earth.
Perfect. I'm feeling right at home. All right, Fairfield. Let's talk about our deals here.
He looks over to you. Farfell.
That is what I said.
Right. Well then, yes, let's discuss business. He takes a chair, like an old ass chair from one of these buildings, and he brings it closer to the fire. Not too close though. It's sort of a raging bonfire at this point, and he sort of warms his hands next to it. He holds his rifle, leaning up against the chair in front of him, sort of between his legs, over his shoulder kind of deal. If you can picture that.
Hmm.
And he says to you, "So then, I assume you have all of the eyes then, right?"
How many was in the initial agreement?
2,000. That is 1,000 pairs.
That is correct, I do.
Excellent. Very good.
Do you have the gold?
Of course, friend. Of course. And he takes a sack off of his side. And it's bulging with coin, in fact, as he lays it down in front of you. Go ahead. Count it. All of the pieces are there.
Jasper, go ahead and count this.
Yes, sir. He goes over and he awkwardly picks up the sack. As he's doing so, Farfel, he says, "Be careful there, it's close to ripping. I wouldn't want an accident." So then, where are the eyes?
They're on board the ship. As soon as I know that your deal holds strong, then I will deliver them to you. And you may count them, and we will wait for that as well.
It might take a while to count that many eyes, but
I hope it takes
All right.
even longer to count this gold.
of course. And you recall the deal was that he would pay you 5,000 pieces for all of the eyes. A pretty good fortune. Small fortune, to say the least.
Yeah, Farfel, we're going to need 10,000 coins for these eyes. As you've heard, Circa is now gone.
As you say
So-
that, he looks up at you. What do you mean, Circa is gone?
Circa is gone. The bottom of the ocean.
He looks at you for a moment, sort of scrutinizing your face. You're
I
not
have
joking,
refugees.
are you?
I have refugees on the ship from Circa that we pulled from the ocean.
What happened exactly?
It was attacked by a dragon and demons.
As you say dragon, you notice his eyes sort of like widen for a split second. And then he immediately like regains his composure. A dragon? Huh? What did it look like?
Huh.
I've
The
only
dragon
heard-
appeared to be made from Terran eyes.
As you say that, he his smile immediately like vanishes completely. I see. Well, that's really unfortunate.
Not to mention what he screamed at Circa as it sank.
What did he scream?
Asphodel.
Really? You mean the old tales about that alchemist?
Right, if a dragon made a Terran eye, something that we thought may have been an old tale, who's to not consider that Asphodel is just a tale?
Come on, man. Do you really think anyone could be immortal?
Do you really think a dragon could be made of Terran eyes?
Fair point. I suppose anything is possible. Do you think this dragon was a demon too?
I don't know what it was, and I did not stick around long enough to find out.
But why attack Circa?
We don't know. Where were you at when the incursion of Circa took place?
I was here.
Roughly. You've been here for the last 3 days?
I've been here for the last few months.
On this cold rock in Farso?
That's right.
And what do the Orcan villages think of you being here?
They've no knowledge of my presence, and I intend to keep it that way. I don't mess with them, and they don't mess with me.
Huh. And what's your intentions with all these Terran eyes now?
With all these eyes? Well, I was going to fashion them into some jewelry and sell them.
Yeah, in that case, we're going to need 10,000.
That wasn't part of our deal.
The deal has changed. Circa is gone.
And that changes nothing. We
That changes
we had
everything.
we had an agreement, Captain. 5,000 pieces for 2,000 eyes.
You're right, and now I have $20,000 on board. 20,000 pieces of gold worth of refugees on board. Yeah, you can see why 5,000 really doesn't get my blood going.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm afraid I'm going to have to back out of this agreement.
I can live with that.
I'll be taking my gold back then.
Not so fast.
He looks
I
up
think
at
we're
you,
gonna.
and he says, "What?"
We can cut another deal about this dragon.
What about it? It's none of my business.
The entire dragon's made of Terranize. Does that not intrigue you?
What are you suggesting? That we lure it here and take it down and pluck all of the eyes out of it?
Wouldn't be the hardest thing I've ever done.
Really?
Really.
You're a terrible liar.
Oh, pay the fee and I will kill your dragon.
You'll kill yourself, I think.
Oh, many people have tried to kill me. Ask my brother. None have succeeded.
Rowan looks over to you, then looks over to Farfel. It's quite true. The man considers your offer for a moment. And how then would you lure this dragon here?
Well, it seems that the dragon has a taste for Terranize.
Right.
I would not be surprised if it was actually following the ship as we speak.
You mean it might be coming here?
Correct. And if I would have just taken your money and left, you would be dead. Because I'm pretty sure you couldn't take a dragon by itself. So now, your money goes from paying for the eyes that are going to cause your death to paying me for your protection.
Oh, this is hilarious. Really. I am intrigued by your story, though. I'll tell you what. I'd be willing to do that. If you're really willing to take such a risk.
Absolutely.
You seem pretty confident about being able to take down this dragon, though. Are you
Well, I
sure
know
the
that
rest of your crew and all of these folk here are willing to say the same?
Oh, we're pirates. For gold, we'll do anything. The refugees I'm going to set free so they can live their lives, and me and my crew will hunt for wealth and power as we see fit. Taking on this dragon will bring great name for us.
Do you ever think about what a life is worth, Captain?
No, I feel as if I live 9 lives.
Is that right? What about a soul? You ever consider that, what a soul is worth?
Yeah, apparently to you it's worth 5,000 gold. Because that's what all the Terran are. That you were going to make into jewelry.
One second. I got a message. Okay. He considers for a moment. There's no amount that can really equal that value.
And you were going to pay me 5,000 gold for 2,000 souls.
What I find more intriguing is that you agreed to such a deal.
I did. I did agree. My brother and I both agreed.
What I find more intriguing, however, is that now you're questioning this, or you're hesitating. The Gemini that I knew back then, you seemed all gung-ho, as they say, about gathering these eyes for me. But now, I can't help but wonder what's changed exactly. And he takes a closer look at you. I see you lost an eye. Or is the eye patch just for show, an intimidation factor?
No, I did lose an eye to one of your incursions. I tried to slay a fishing boat, and the damn thing took my eye. After which I decided I need to take some time and decide if that's who I really wanted to be. I met a beautiful woman. She had a child. I owned a bar. I lived a very, very different lifestyle. I learned to care for people. I met a Terran. He made me a plated armor suit for a friend of mine. You learn. People change you.
You learn to care for people. And yet, you're willing to risk their lives to fight off some creature. I find that to be intriguing, to say the least.
And I'm willing to save 1,000 lives.
He tears his gaze away from you for a moment. And what about all of you? Are all of you willing to risk your lives to battle against this creature that he speaks of?
Why not?
What else are we going to do? There's no circuit anymore.
And you, Alf? What about you? Are you willing to put your life in his hands?
I can't say I want to fight this creature, but I don't think we have a chance, or like another chance,
I see.
or another way.
Regardless, the dragon is coming for us.
Did you have some sort of plan to fight this thing?
Well, we are very close to the Orcan capital, and there are several masters who have also dealt with this dragon. We were going to need their assistance.
Masters? Masters? What are you talking about? Masters? Masters of what?
Masters of the arts. Melody. Darunka Darkfin. We have 2 more surviving masters, and 2 unconscious masters on board. If we have them awake, I know we will stand a chance against this beast.
I see. Well, you know, come to think of it, I might know someone who can help us as well. Perhaps. Okay. If we can gather a large enough force, I don't see any reason not to accept your deal.
Perfect. Now, if you hand over the 5,000 gold, I will feed my men, and I will prepare your army to slay your dragon, and then you may have the dragon and do as you wish.
2,500 now, and then another 2,500 should we survive this ordeal. I think that's
fair. I need to drop the refugees off anyway before the battle begins.
Where are you going to drop them off at? It's a frozen wasteland all around. Besides, given the nature of this land, they're as safe here as they are anywhere. Until the dragon rolls around anyway.
We'll head towards the mountains of Farso.
The mountains.
There we have cover. There we'll have cover. And we can protect ourselves. In addition, the peninsula of New Alfheim meets close to the border of Farso.
Okay, one second. One thing in game, though it looks close, the actual distance is much greater. That the map is not to scale. Sorry.
Well, way to go. Ruined everything. Way to go.
You've ruined my well-crafted plans.
Son of a... You know how long it took me to devise this great scheme? About 2 seconds. Alright, well, the mountains then. The mountains of... Where at on the map are we at? Live.
Let me open up the map here real quick. Okay, that's not the map.
Question: would Kasha know of any Orcan settlements nearby they might be able to go to and seek possible help?
There are a few Orcan settlements near the mountains, but you are somewhat worried, though. The Orcan, as you know, are quite hostile to outsiders encroaching upon Farso. If they were to see such a large amount of people here, a large amount of, not Orcan, wandering around, they might not take that so kindly.
What she could do is take a small band with her and go to the closest Orcan settlement and plead their case and see if she can get word to her clan to let them know she's back home.
Gotcha. Okay, real quick. If you look up from the mountain on the map, if you have the map open, you guys are pretty much directly north on the coast.
Okay. Perfect.
You're knowing that, Kasha, knowing where the mountain is, you can use that to get yourself to your own clan's settlement. It's in between the body of water to the east and the mountain itself, like situated between those two things.
Okay, question: do we have like any horses, or how are we traveling?
By foot. You
Could
have
Kasha swim?
Okay.
Yeah,
underneath
Kasha could swim, but that is still an awful distance to swim.
Would it be better
yeah.
for an Orcan to walk it or swim it?
I would probably say half swim, half walk.
Probably
She
better.
can-
Probably better because swimming would. I feel like swimming would expend a lot more energy. Honestly.
Yeah, plus Orcans have to breathe air, so... Okay.
No, she can breathe in water.
Oh, she can breathe underwater. Okay.
Yeah. Perks to be an Orcan.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Because we cannot... I feel like if this dragon should literally be hunting us down because it destroyed and ate destroyed the eye, Brock's other eye. So I'm pretty sure this dragon is hunting down Terrans, consuming their eyes. So he's got to be pretty keen on finding a big ass box of 2,000 Terran eyes. So
Okay, as you guys are contemplating like what your next move is, Gemini, you feel somebody grab you grab your arm from behind, and as you look over your shoulder, you see Jonah, and they have this like dead ass serious look on their face, and they whisper to you, "Are you serious about all of this?"
Jonah, trust me.
But I mean, it's
I have never stirred you wrong before. Through anything, have I?
to be fair, we haven't exactly gone through a lot of things together, though. I mean, really, one success doesn't really mean a whole lot necessarily.
But all seriousness though, there's a lot more to what this dragon is than anything, and we need to kill this dragon. Do you want to see your wife again?
He looks at you for a moment. My wife, my child, they're gone.
Oh, there is legend. You can bring someone back.
It's a myth.
It's not.
How do you know?
I'm not talking about pulling them from the other side. I'm talking about going back in time and stopping it.
I haven't heard of any time travelers either.
Anachron spoke to me and showed me the way.
Is that so?
It is. I need to get Evan's mother back.
Go
And
ahead.
doing so-
Go ahead and give me a face talk social roll, real quick. For a moment, as you say this, you think you can see like a sort of spark of hope in Jonah's face, and then immediately it just fades away, and he says, "You shouldn't speak so vainly about the Ayans. I doubt anyone spoke to you." And he turns away as he like just sits on a nearby stool.
All right, great. Jonah's on board, guys. All right, let's go.
As you say that chorus, he says, "Go where?"
We're going to lead the refugees to the mountain. And that is where we will hold our stand against the dragon, because if we drop these eyes off here, the dragon's going to get more powerful. If we take the eyes and run, we're going to be killed at sea. So, it's kind of up to us to stop this dragon. And the band of demons that might be with the dragon. So,
Chorus looks at you for a moment and he says, "Friends, I think there's something that you're overlooking.
what is that?
It's cold here."
I agree 100%. But I don't think we have enough time to get to a warmer climate. And the masters are here, and we could surely use their help. If you're cold, Corvus, maybe you can pair with Marcus and he can warm you up.
But what about all of these other people? Do you really think they would survive a trip to the mountains with no protection?
We can protect them. How many miles from here is the mountain?
Judging just like if you're just gonna ballpark it, you would say it's at least, I would say, trying to think here, what would be a good distance? At least like 50 miles inland. Quite the
Could
distance.
be more than a day's walk. What if we fortify the town here?
What if you fortified the town? Like, are you like asking that as a like a player or
party.
to the party?
If we fortify the town, the dragon still comes here. We just don't have the cover of the mountain, but 50 miles walking in the cold. It's pretty dangerous. How far is your camp from here? I ask. Fairwind?
Well, when I'm not out looking for food, I stay here in the town. So you're looking at it.
Perfect. Alright, brother. I say... I'm gonna speak with the party
Okay.
privately.
Away from your brother.
Right. I need to have a speak. Brother, if I die, you are the captain. You know this. Correct?
I would assume so.
Allow me to speak to my friends. We may have to make another decision that you may not agree with, but I do not want our father's vessel to go down at sea.
What are you thinking, brother?
That I might have to let you go.
What do you mean?
I might have to take the eyes, give you the 25,000, the 2,500 gold coins to get out of here, and I will have to stay here, and hopefully the dragon will not kill me. But at least my brother will have a head start.
Rowan, he crosses his arms for a moment. I could take them somewhere else, if that's what you want.
It might be something we have to do.
Maybe over to Alfheim, perhaps? I know that the Alf aren't exactly the most sociable of people, but I'm sure they would understand in such an emergency our situation.
I agree. Alright, one moment, brother. Let me speak with my friends.
Go ahead. It's not like I can
Okay.
stop you.
Okay, guys, this is the strat. And we can't freaking... If we head out to sea, the dragon's gonna sink the ship. Regardless. If I give these 2,000 eyes over to this guy, the dragon might just kill us anyway, but 1,000 innocent Terran are gonna die. And I can't live with that. And we might die anyway at sea. I don't want to pull the refugees off the ship, fortify the town, the dragon come, and then them get caught in the crossfire and die. I don't want to put my crew at risk to fighting a dragon that they don't have any experience dealing with. I'm not saying any of us have real experience, but I think we would stand a far better chance than they would. What are your thoughts?
How would we get out of here if we were to survive this battle?
My
Joe
brother will come
asks.
back.
Are you sure he would come back?
He's my brother. I'm sure he will come back.
You seem to have an awful lot of faith in people, Jonah says.
You're right. And if you learn to have a little bit more faith in me, we'll make it through this.
Right. Well, we worked together to solve that case. Well, actually, I guess we didn't really solve anything. But what I'm trying
We
to
found
say,
the victims.
what I'm trying to say is, I'll stay here, and I'll help you. But I don't want for the other guards that survived Circa to have to go through anymore. I think that they should be allowed to go with the refugees.
Agreed. They can protect them too and do Alfheim.
Besides, someone with some sort of authority will have to explain to the Alf what happened here. What happened to Circa.
Jonah, will you be accompanying your men then?
No,
You want to stay and fight?
that's right.
Well, I guess you're going to have to give a promotion to someone on board.
There's someone there who will be able to lead them, who will be able to explain to their best ability what happened.
Perfect. Targwin, maybe you can write an official document to the Alf. As well as the tree keeper is actually one of the refugees that are on board. So maybe they can explain. They just lost the ability to hear, I'm aware, but
They only lost the ability to hear thoughts, like emotions.
do you think
Right.
you'll be able to write them something?
I don't think it's gonna help. I don't think they're gonna believe that even fighting.
If Kasha can go fetch her clan and the remaining two masters, and we fortify the town, awaiting for the beast's arrival, we may be ready and we may stand a chance.
This is suicide. Like, if the dragon comes, and
You're breaking
They're
up,
all
Torgwin. You're like
Okay.
cutting it out.
gotcha. If the dragon comes, and if the demons come with him, we are all dead. If the masters at the school couldn't do, like, they couldn't do much or anything against those, like
The
the
masters
mass
at-
of demons.
The masters were also divided. In addition, the masters that are here are the air magic, or the air master, as well as the time master,
Water master.
water master. The water master and the air master are both here.
Ah, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I think there's no other way. But it's still, I think it's still suicide.
Jonah.
And we also have Pyrus and Umbris here too, and the Darkfin have a keen sense of the mystical arts. So maybe Daranka Darkfin can help bring them back.
Kasha, as you hear this name, Daranka Darkfin, you heard that before, but you thought you may have misheard the first name. You don't actually know of anybody named Daranka Darkfin in your clan. You're muted, by the way. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she just sits there in quiet, just thinking, trying to figure out who this Dronka Darkfin is.
Gotcha. With that in mind, so currently the plan is like to go and find these other two masters, to find the Orcan clan, the Darkfin clan, at least, and to find and also not to find. Farfell mentioned that he knew somebody who might be able to help as well. If you wanted to hear him out on that offer. Gemini, if you're there, you're muted.
And don't forget, we also have 1,000 other soldiers.
1,000 other soldiers. Wow.
Oh yes.
Huh?
We do. We have 1,000 soldiers that are fighting for their lives because they're the ones that are going to be devoured.
Oh. Oh. I see. I was like, huh? I think you put another 0 in there for... but I see what you're talking about now. Clever.
We said there's 2,000 eyes, right?
Yep, 1,000 pairs.
So that means there's 1,000 Terran in there.
That is true. That is true. I hadn't considered that. Okay. So then,
And I can make all their bodies.
that's a good point. So go find the Darkfin tribe and the other masters. And there's also the thing that Farfell had mentioned. What do you want to do first, and how do you want to do this? Do you want to split the party, or do you want to try to stick together for this?
So this is what I think. I think Corvus, Kasha, and Marcus should go to the Darkfin clan. Marcus will heat them, will keep them warm as they head that way. Corvus can fly, and Kasha knows also if Marcus is looking for his masters, they'll recognize Marcus from the school.
Makes sense.
Torgwin, myself, and Valan, along with Jonah, can prepare our strategy for when the dragon actually arrives.
Gotcha.
And Valan must still be sleeping.
Yes, that appears to be the case.
He got drunk off my wine last night, that son of a bitch.
He found a secret wine stash.
He did. Alright, do we all agree with the plan?
Yes.
Marcus, are you ready to go meet your old masters?
I hope to find them.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go back and speak with my brother.
Okay. He's waiting for you over by the fire.
Alright, brother, you're gonna take this this gold that you have, and you are going to take the refugees to New Alfheim. We have the Alf that is on board is a keeper of the Aeons, the tree gardener. He knows his way around Alfheim.
He looks at you for a moment. Are you sure about this, brother?
I'm sure. And I whisper. Plus, they're only like 3 feet tall, so hopefully they really don't give you a run for your money if they try something.
I don't underestimate anyone.
Good call. All right then. I will go back aboard. I will say a few words to the refugees, the crew. We will remove the Terranized from the hold, and you will have your old room back, brother. And then the ship will be yours once again. I just need you to come pick us up after the battle, and maybe give me a proper burial if I'm dead.
How long do you want me to wait before I return?
Come back in 7 days.
Very well. I will try to be back here within that time frame. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on the boat. I'm gonna have some of the guards or my crewmates, whichever one want to listen to what I say, place the 2 masters inside one of the buildings on the island.
Okay.
So we have both of them there sleeping. Evan, I'm sending Evan away with the rest of the group.
As you explain this to him, he's like, but you promised.
Evan, I did promise. I did. If I kill this dragon, we are one step closer to bringing your mother back.
What if you die?
I can never die. Evan, so long as you're here, I'm going to turn over command of my ship. If you are ever in danger, the ship will listen to what you say.
He doesn't seem to understand, and he just like runs off. He like runs away from you into the ship.
Wait. Okay. That's okay. Mr. Puppet, I'm gonna say, Mr. Puppet, old friend, are you ready for an adventure? I'm gonna scoop him up and I'm gonna go find Valon. Is he like completely intoxicated? He can't even move right now.
Well, you find him down in the depths of the hole, and he is like passed the hell out. You don't see any alcohol around him though.
Okay, I'm gonna have him placed with the masters are sleeping.
Gotcha. Yeah, he seems like dead ass asleep. He doesn't
Perfect.
wake up at all.
I am going to have them remove the Terranized and place them in one of the buildings.
Okay. You're able to place them in like the largest of the buildings, like a warehouse of sorts.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, then I guess now it's time to say farewell to Kasha, Marcus, and Corvus.
Chorus. Okay. In that case, yeah, the 3 of you begin to make your way into the frozen, tundra, so to speak. Farfel is, however, kind enough to lend Chorus and Marcus some sort of clothing to offer.
Perfect.
To offer some sort of protection. That's. Anyways, yeah. So the 3 of you begin to make your way into the tundra, searching for Kasha's village. As you depart, 1 second, my bad. What were you saying, Kasha?
I was going to say, before she parts, she goes up to Gemini and hands him a bag of gold. You're half of the business, my friend.
Oh,
I managed to save some of it. Not all of it, but there's at least 2,000 gold there.
that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Gemini ain't never say no to money. Thank you, my friend.
A business partner doesn't stab another business partner in the back.
So that was 2,000 gold?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Okay.
As they're leaving, as you are making these preparations, Farfel looks over and he sees the boat leaving the harbor and he says, "Well, I guess so much for that. So then I guess you want to take on this dragon that you speak of with just these people here?"
Oh, well, we have friends headed to the Darkfin clan to call forth some powerful masters to help defeat the beast.
I see. Well, then we'll definitely need my associates' help then.
Fantastic. Let's kill this beast.
Who wants to go with me to pay them a visit? They're an expert in these sorts of things.
Jonah?
Demons and
Oh,
all that. That is. Or so they claim, at least.
that leaves me and Torgwin are the only two choices.
Well, I would do it. Would like to learn more.
Torgwin wants to go? Okay. Jonah, do you want to go with Torgwin?
Yeah, I guess that I can. It's probably better if, there's a little bit more protection. And he's sort of like, his eyes are sort of like darting between you and this Farfel fellow.
Perfect. So if Torgwin and Torgwin and Jonah go there, me and Mr. Puppet will work on building our Terran army.
Gotcha. Okay. So are you just gonna like build like a body for all of these Terran?
I have Earth magic. I'm just gonna keep on.
Dude, that's gonna be a lot of man. Oh boy.
I'm gonna play the South Park music in the back, "Live to Win," as I just use my mana until like I'm going unconscious, and then I wake up and I'm like back to normal, and then I start doing it again.
Okay, I'm just thinking here. Yeah, you don't have anybody else who has Earth magic that could help you.
Nope, just me and Mr. Puppet.
Hands.
And Mr. Puppet. Or you know what?
Actually,
I could just build the bodies for all the Terran that have Earth magic already.
Yeah, you
speak
could.
to them.
Exactly.
They all have Earth magic, so they can help you to build the army faster. You're absolutely right. Wow.
I'm a freaking genius. I'm a tactician. I'm the best.
Dude, don't forget Brock.
I'm freaking and Brock. I got Brock here with me too.
Yeah, that's
Mr.
right.
Puppet and Brock share the same body.
You're right. Yeah, that is true. They can all help you. Wow. A self-building army. Who'd have thought it?
Yep.
Get outsmarted. You could actually it could be 2,000 soldiers if you just like
Divided their
placed
eyes.
one eye.
Yeah,
at
you just
one
split their
yeah.
eyes. Holy shit.
Which even
Yeah.
makes them more
Wow.
survivable.
Dividing eyes, man. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
You know what? You got a great freaking idea, Torwin. All right, let's do this. All right, everybody. Good luck. I bid farewell to everyone.
Okay. In that case, here's what we're gonna do since we're splitting in three now.
And Valon is unconscious.
And Valon is unconscious.
With the other two masters.
Yep, along with the other two
They're warming
masters.
each other.
He's just gonna when he gets here, he's just
Yikes.
gonna wake up and like be next to these two unconscious.
Oh no.
He's like freezing in like a cold ass like hut. He's gonna wake up and like there's snow everywhere. He's like, what the hell happened?
happened?
What did I drink?
He's gonna come outside and see you like building all of these bodies for these other Terran.
I'm gonna look at him. We're stranded here. These are our new friends. Good luck.
currently
Like,
forming a
what the hell?
sandcastle.
What did I miss?
What in the hell happened? Where's everybody else at? The ship sank, man. It's all gone to hell.
It's all over. The ship's gone. We're dead.
Okay. Anyways, back in character. We're gonna go ahead and go with Torgwin, Jonah, and Farfel first. As you begin your journey out, Farfel, he hands you a few like furs and stuff to keep you warm. You and Jonah. He hands it to you. It's quite heavy. Torgwin, he says, "Here, this'll well, it'll keep you from freezing to death a little bit slower, if that's any sort of comfort."
Thank you a lot.
Huh, don't mention it. You're better. Well, I should say you're more useful to me alive than dead. Let's just keep it at that. My friend is about a day's walk from here, so get ready. You're probably gonna have to rest. As you guys are walking, though, Jonah asks, "So, who's this friend of yours? You said that they know a lot about demons and stuff, right? I mean, you gotta be curious about that too, right, Torgwin?"
Of course I am, but I didn't want to ask him beforehand, but yeah,
Why not?
at least not that soon. I don't know.
Well, I guess I just went ahead and...
Yeah, no,
Go
go ahead.
that way.
It's fine.
Farfel, as you guys are walking, Farfel begins to explain. She's an older lady, I suppose you could say. She's kind of scary, I won't lie to you. You might be a bit intimidated by what you see, but I assure you there's nothing to be afraid of. For as much as you can rely on a stranger's word. For all that that might be worth to you. Which I imagine can't really be a whole lot.
Torgwin then asks, how did she came to experiment or learn about demons on Farso?
Well, from what I've learned from her in her own experiences, she told me that she used to hunt them for a living. If you can believe such a
Oh.
thing. Oh yeah, she would go on and on about how she used to travel around the world and find these demons and, well, send them back whence they came, over and over again until eventually they just gave up on whatever it was they were doing. Or sometimes she would trap them. That's what she claims, at least. Hey, you don't think she might be able to trap this dragon thing, right?
I think that's too powerful to trap, but I do not know.
Well, I guess we'll figure it out then. No better person to ask, if you want my opinion. She at least comes off as knowing what she's talking about. I'll say that much.
Well done.
That is a terrifying image that you sent, Kasha. What the hell? Anyways. The first leg of your journey is pretty uneventful. And note, one thing I forgot to mention, it's pretty much perpetually nighttime right now. Like,
Okay.
it's the only light to guide your way
Oh.
is like the light that you have, like any torches you have or magic that you use, as well as like, how do I say this? As well as like the light of the moon above you. Tori, when you recall the old Alphan legends about the moon and how it was one of Lustra's gifts to the world. One of her eyes that she uses to watch over all of those that follow her. And perhaps that brings you a bit of comfort. maybe. How do you react to this? It's in full view. It's full moon.
I've got a question to the perpetual night. So it's basically, it is always night, just like North Pole. You mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Torgrim just probably takes a moon a bit and just like whispers to himself, "Ah, beautiful."
Yeah, I guess it is pretty beautiful, isn't it? Jonah says. At least at least we have something to light our way, right?
Well, we could use magic, but
That
why
seems like
would
a
we
lot
if
of
we've
trouble.
got the moon?
It seems like a lot of trouble. And a lot of mana, too. Keep something like that.
Yes.
Right?
No, you're completely right. Even, yeah.
And as you two are conversating, Farfel, he, like, without turning around, he asks, "So is it true, then?"
Is what true?
About Circa. It's what Gemini said true. It's actually gone.
Well, it sank while we were on it. So, yes.
That's incredible. That changes everything. The entire world will be impacted by that. Shame.
Still, the question that arises is why did they attack it?
That is
Why
kind
did
of
demons
unusual,
attack?
isn't it? Well, personally, I don't know anything about them. But, I'm sure, my friend might be able to tell us a little bit. With all their knowledge and wisdom and expertise and all that. At least I hope.
Well, demons only act on contracts, or usually at least. Or to fulfill some purpose, but what purpose could sinking Circa have? But, well, let's wait until we meet your friend.
Right. Interesting theory, though, that there's some sort of, like, contract or something like that. I mean, who would be powerful enough to contract that many demons?
Exactly. Maybe the Terran eyes in the dragon. Or like the Terran radar in the dragon.
Right. Go ahead.
Well.
Here's what I'm gonna need you to do for me. Here's what I'm gonna need you to do for me. I want you to go ahead and give me a guts perception roll. Torgwin.
Yep. Get up.
Okay. You feel a warmth by your side, and immediately your entire, like, you feel like your entire, like, you break it. What I'm trying to say is you break out into a cold sweat, basically, as you realize, like, what that warmth is emanating from. You reach down to your side, fumbling through the,
Oh god.
through your, like, layers of clothing. Like, you suddenly stop as you're, like, looking around desperately. As you bring out your dagger, you notice that it's glowing. And you know exactly what that means.
Oh no.
Alright,
Demons.
here's what I'm going to need you to...
Not again.
Here's what I'm going to need you to do.
Okay.
Jonah sees your knife, and he's like, fancy knife you got there. Go ahead and give me another perception roll. Use your perception twice.
Gotcha.
Okay. Through the dim light of the moon, you see a small cloud of mana racing towards you. Shadow mana, mind you. And you watch as it takes form into the last thing that you've wanted to see. You watch as it takes form into the Bull Man. that has been haunting you ever since that day. Jonah like turns towards and he's like, "What?" As he like draws his weapon. Farfel looks over as well as he readies his rifle. Here's what I'm gonna need you to do, Torgwin. Go ahead
Yeah.
and give me a willpower roll. Use your willpower twice. And I'll go ahead and say this. Add in a +2 because you have your 2 allies here with you.
Okay.
Don't roll a crit fail.
Oh, I will. +2, +2.
Oof. Okay. You have your weapon out and you take on your stance, but you can feel your body sort of like stiffening in fear. You're like stunned in place for a moment as this creature like barrels towards you. Okay. 1 second.
Yep.
I just need to open up a few things here.
As it
Yeah, who'd have thought, right? Okay.
as it comes towards us, Torwin just whispers, "No, no, 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 no."
Gotcha. And it's barreling towards you, and it's going to try to just like charge straight past Jonah and just like knock him to the side, pretty much. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay, so Jonah, despite his best attempts to like dodge out of the way, gets clipped, just barely, mind you, by this creature. And he's sent careening through the snow, and you can see like some patches of blood as he's rolling. He seems to have been caught in the leg by this thing's horn. He yells out, "Ah!" as he's like just like sitting there in the snow, like laying on the ground. He's going to take some damage. I'm going to say... I need to open up another calculator. Okay. Okay. So that happened. Farfel is going to ready his rifle and take a shot. As this is happening, the demon like immediately like just turns his gaze straight onto you, Torgwin, as he begins to like walk forward, right as Farfel is going to take a shot. Alright, and Farfel manages to hit this thing straight on in the neck, right? As the creature, like, sort of, like he's impacted with the bullet, right? And you hear the sort of, like, report from the bullet as it just, like, cracks through the quiet night, right? And you can see the flash of gunpowder as his rifle goes off, right? And the creature he just gets caught straight in the neck, right? And he stumbles a little bit to the side as he like turns towards Farfel. He releases this sort of like groan or growl or something of that nature as he begins to like get ready to charge towards him. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is your turn, Torgwin.
All right. I'm trying to banish it.
Okay, that's going to be your willpower against its. Or actually, just use what use what the spell tells you. My bad. Use what the spell tells you.
Spell just tells me difficulty 16.
Difficulty.
And it's a radiant magic spell.
Okay, yeah, he has to roll like once you make your roll. That determines.
Resisted by the target's will times 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll, and then I'll roll against you.
Okay. That's 8. I am gonna use, I guess, 7 more. $2d10. Plus mysticism, right?
It would be your attunement, willpower, and mysticism. Yes.
Attunement, willpower, mysticism.
And any extra mana that you want to spend.
That's 3 plus 7.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Solid.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right. In that case, he is going to go ahead and spend some of his own mana. I'm going to say
Yikes.
to try and resist your spell. How much is he going to spend? I'll say he's going to spend. We're going to bring it up to this. So he's going to spend. 14 points of his own mana.
Yikes. Oh my.
Okay, so you have a surge of adrenaline. Seeing your friend injured perhaps has given you the willpower to be able to do what you must do, right? To survive, basically. And I want you to describe the battle of wills that you have against this creature as you banish it.
Torgrim basically just has the will to, like, for it to just leave, like, for it to just disappear, because he does not want to see that right now or, like, anytime soon.
So is it like a sort of like a
yeah.
like a blinding radiance, like perhaps emanating from his body?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
sounds nice.
Okay, all right. So you do this, and it's practically like looking into the sun from the outside, right? Like Farfel is like getting his rifle ready to shoot again as this creature is like getting ready to come towards him, and all of a sudden he has to like shield his eyes from this bright ass light. As the demon like looks back towards you, you see shadow mana sort of emanate from his own body, and it sort of like clashes against your own spell for a moment. And for a split second, you think that this creature is going to win out against you. That this might very well be the end, but you make one final push as you just go forward with everything you have. And you manage to cause it to lose its form, and you watch as the mana begins to sort of evaporate away. As it's losing its form and as it's evaporating away, you hear its voice say to you in a familiar voice to you. It says, "This is only a temporary escape for you. I will be back." As it completely evaporates away and loses its form, leaving you and Farfel there. You can hear Jonah in the background. He's just like, as he's like sitting there on the ground, just groaning in pain. He's holding his leg. He seems to be pretty badly injured. What do you do?
I run over and probably can't heal him because I'll do light magic and shadow magic. Yeah.
As you do that, Farfel comes over, and he leans down. He's like, "Let me take a look at that leg for a second." And he goes to inspect the wound. "You're lucky. It missed an artery just barely. If not, you'd be a dead man right now." As he takes a bit of the snow from the ground, he cups it in his hands and he holds it against the wound. And Torgwin, you notice that it immediately shifts into water in a sort of unnatural fashion, as it sort of seeps into the wound, and you notice that it seems to be like closing up like rapidly. You and Jonah watch this happen. And within a few moments, there's a faint sort of scar left, and Farfel removes his hands, and he says, "How does that feel?" Jonah, like, steadily gets up to his feet, and Farfel's like, "Wait a second there. Take it slowly. All right? I closed up your wounds, but it's still going to hurt, all right? You're probably going to need our help to walk around." Well, he looks over to you, Torgwin. My help, at least. I'm not sure, no offense to you, I don't even know your name, but I don't know how well you can help someone of his stature to walk.
Probably not at all. Also, I'm Torgwin.
Right. Well, I suppose it's a pleasure to meet you then, Torgwin. It's Farfell, as you've probably heard. But anyways, what did you do to that creature?
Well, I banished it to where it came from.
Is that so?
The labyrinth. At least, for now.
So you're telling me it could come back at any moment?
Well, it's gonna take some time, but yes. And I don't, or we don't really have anything to stop it.
Great. Well, I guess that's all the more reason for us to just make this all the much faster, right? Let's go. As he helps Jonah up to his feet. And the three of you continue onward. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to Kasha, Marcus, and Chorus. The three of you are walking as fast as you can, mind you, towards where the orc encampment is. Kasha, as you're going along, you know that there are a few other clans around here that the Darkfin are on relatively good terms with, right? They have a few like outposts and such around, and sometimes, you know, you have the occasional patrol even that passes through this area. But you've noticed that it is desolate here. You don't see any signs of any sort of like Orcan activity having happened here, and that strikes you as very odd. You know, you thought, you know, having traveled as far as you have, you might have come across maybe some smoke or, you know, something else that would give you some sort of a sign that there was life nearby. But
Okay.
but you don't find anything. Also, we're going to take a short break. I just have to use the bathroom real quick. So if anybody's got to use the bathroom, now's the time to do it. I'll be back.
I think this idea has taken a rather good turn.
You call that good?
Epic duel there, Torgwin.
Epic. Thank God my 7 mana were enough.
Yeah. I really hope that Marcus and Kasha can convince the clan to join.
Yep. If not,
If not, we at least have an army
we're
of
fucked.
2,000.
yeah, true. Still, imagine the dragon actually coming, and
What
then
if we build it and they're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not helping.
yeah, fuck this, I'm leaving.
I'd be pissed. I'll watch your back.
Yeah, or maybe the dragon just lands and insta gives everything because he has earth magic and a shit ton of eyes. So,
Rip. It's over. This is a bad idea, guys. Why'd you let me do this? Oh, God. We're all gonna die. I blame Valon.
same.
Did y'all get a chance to watch my my highlights video for the Phasmophobia?
Oh yikes! I didn't.
You didn't watch it? No,
I didn't. I'm so sorry, dude.
that's what it was. You just never my friend ever again. It's okay.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm gonna kill Torben when I get a chance.
I'll lie on my own, don't worry.
I'm gonna throw him. I'm gonna I'm gonna throw him.
I'm gonna throw him at the dragon.
I'm gonna throw him. Jesus Christ. That was a good idea. I'm gonna throw Torgwin through the window. You're gonna do what? And then I throw him.
Okay. I have returned. Sorry about that. What is this I hear about? What is this I hear about throwing Torgwin at the dragon?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Not
throw
again.
Torgwin at the-
Holy shit.
I mean, it's reasonable. I didn't watch his video.
I watched my video and he said that he would and never did. So now I'm gonna throw him at the dragon. That's the compensation.
Dragon probably just wants a hug or some shit. I don't know, dude.
Defeating it with the power of friendship is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah. This is MNT now.
Hold on, what?
Yeah. Don't
Oh
worry
my
about it.
God, Valon is
that,
alive.
was timing, dude.
Okay, Valon, this session has turned completely different. We're now about to call on the powers of Rainbow Dash and her friends.
Wow, did I walk into a goddamn Care Bears episode?
You did.
Yeah, man. It's like some
No, it's
alternate.
universe.
It's like an alternate universe, bro. Like this is your nightmare.
Oh, hold on. We'll let them pick it up, and then when we cut back to what happened to Valon during this entire event, we'll see what the reaction is.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like what happens.
Maybe you should cut real quick to Valon waking up, explain what happens, and then immediately cut back to Marcus and them.
Okay, we can do that. Valon, you were like having the deepest sleep that you've ever had. Like, you were so fucking tired. Like, you've never been that tired before. That's what I'm gonna say.
Gotcha.
And you wake up, and it's cold, but there's also a strange sort of warmth. And as you like flutter your eyes open to like look around you, right? You're still groggy as fuck, and you find that you're actually like laying like right next to these two other people. And as you look at them, they're the two unconscious men from on the boat. And you like startle awake, and you're like, where the fuck am I at? Pretty much. As you look around, you're in some sort of a shack. You're not even at sea anymore. And outside, you can hear like rumbling. And if you were to look outside, you would see Gemini creating these like stone bodies, like as many as he can. And you also see these other like Terran that you've never seen before. Like never seen these Terran before. Also like helping him to create more of these stone bodies. And you see them like taking these eyes out of this crate and like popping them in there. Gemini, you're notified by one of the other Terran, right? That there's somebody coming out of the shack, and you turn around to see Valon.
Valon, glad to see you're awake. Update: the ship sank. All friends are gone, and we're stranded here. These are our new friends. Good luck.
You see Valon just like speechless. He goes back and lays down for another 5 minutes. Comes back and says, "Okay, I'm actually awake. How I couldn't have been asleep and unaware for that long or to that magnitude, so how the fuck?"
Things happened. These are our new friends.
And he looks at the chest. Are those the jewels you said not to steal?
That is correct. They are people, and they are our friends.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna go walk around for a bit.
Okay. That was perfect. Now you can cut back to them.
Okay. Cutting back to Kasha. Yeah, like I said, there is there's no activity out here. No signs of any other Orcan villages. Nothing. That is until a few hours pass, and you can see smoke up ahead from where your village is supposed to be.
My friends, we're almost home. Let's make our heart. Let's quicken our pace.
Right. Anything to get out of this cold. Chorus says. How is Marcus reacting to the news that you've nearly made it? You're muted, by the way, Marcus. If you're there.
He's freezing, and now he's alarmed, and he's not saying anything. He's freezing and alarmed, and you can see it.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's like stunned silence almost. Got it. Okay. Yeah, you don't have but maybe a few more hours to go if you walk on through the night. And you should be able to rest easy when you actually reach your village. Kasha.
Yeah. What she does, I would be correct in assuming she would have like some type of flag or something with her clan symbol on it with her.
I think that's a fair enough assumption. Sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah. What she does is fixes it up to a pole or a stick that they can carry and flies it throughout their journey.
Gotcha. Okay. So you do this, and a few more hours pass as you trudge on through the cold winterscape. And as you come up on your village, your heart sinks. The smoke that you saw, it wasn't from a fire. It was from what's left of your village. It lays before you, burned to cinders. But you see no bodies here. You also, in the center of the town, you see two figures standing. Or rather, one of them is standing and the other is like in some sort of like sitting position. From where you are and like in the dim light, you're not exactly able to determine like who these people are or what they're doing. I'm gonna say you probably stopped and are hiding behind the remains of some sort of structure. What do you say to your comrades?
Well, guys, what do you think we should do? Should we sneak up behind them or face them straight forward? I'm fine with either choice.
What does Marcus say? You're muted, by the way. Marcus? You there?
Yeah. He's not a man of action. He's pretty much paralyzed with indecision. He was ready to do what the last person who talked to him said, so he'll do that.
Okay. Alright, so nothing's been suggested so far. Chorus says, perhaps it would be wiser to try and determine who these people are first.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize. She's like, I got an idea. She's going to expend 8 mana.
Okay.
And going to shift into... let's see. What kind of cute little fuzzy creature would be in the... A little Arctic fox.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the roll for that.
Okay, I think that would be mysticism.
It would be attunement, willpower, mysticism. If you spend any extra mana, that gets added on to your roll as an additional bonus.
Okay. God.
Wow. Okay, yeah, you do it easily. You're easily able to shapeshift into this box.
Okay. Yeah, she'll after transforming, she'll slowly and alarmingly make her way closer to these two pigs.
Okay. As you get closer, I want you to go ahead and give me a. It's gonna be. 1 second. Just gotta look at my guide here. It's gonna be your finesse twice, and if you have anything in kinesthetics, you're gonna use that as well. And you'll go ahead and add on an additional +3 for being for blending in, so to speak. Okay. So as you're approaching, Kasha, as you're approaching, one of the figures, you hear them say, "So, what are we gonna do exactly? It's really cold here, you know." And you recognize the voice. It's female. And they sound a lot like your friend Chorus sounds. They have the same sort of, like, I guess, tone. Yeah. The other figure says, they're quiet for a moment, and they say, "We are not alone." And he turns swiftly towards you, pointing a trident towards you, in your direction. He locks eyes with you. I'm sorry, not he. She locks eyes with you, and she says,
"Okay."
And she says to you, "Who are you? What tribe do you hail from?"
Cute little fox noises. No, what she does, out of respect and that she was caught, she reverts back to normal. And I hail from the Darkfin tribe, my friend.
The figure looks you up and down. "I see. You must be my brother's child, I take it then." And as she says this, you're, like, completely and utterly confused. Your father, they didn't have any siblings that you know of. How do you react to this?
She looks at this person very, very confused, and what are you talking about? Who are you?
They lower their trident. "I see then. So, I take it he never mentioned me to you then. I can't say I'm surprised. He and I did have a falling out." They wrap their tridents around their back. "I am Duranka Darkfin, the Master of Water from the Scullo Arcano in Circa. I'm your aunt. I came here hoping to rejoin the tribe in a time of celebration. I'm joined by my friend Medley here. But this is what awaited me when I returned. Ashes. Destruction.
She looks around and just blanks out for a moment, remembering that vision of her village getting attacked, and just it's obvious that she's thinking of something sad in regards to the village.
Duranka looks at you quizzically for a moment. Do you know something about this?
Kasha stays quiet for a few moments and explains to her the vision that she saw from Termina. And she goes on to tell her aunt that she was hoping she would have been able to get here before it was too late to try and stop it.
You were gifted a vision?
I was.
What did you see in this vision, child?
Let me try to remember. It was a bunch of demons that attacked the village, correct?
You don't actually know. They didn't seem like they were outsiders. They seemed like they were physical beings of some sort, but their forms were indistinct to you. You weren't sure exactly what they are. You
Okay.
also saw a few other things, but I'm assuming you don't want to mention those right at this moment.
Yeah, no, not right yet. But yeah, she does go on to explain in as best detail as she could of exactly what she saw.
I see. I have a hunch about what has happened to our tribe. If you notice, there's no bodies left around here. Don't you find that peculiar?
A little bit, but it does my heart great joy.
It means... they look at you for a moment. You are wise, child. It means that there is still a chance that our clan lives. But only a slim chance. I assume that you're familiar with the White Fang tribe?
That I am.
And you recall this tribe of Orc, and they're heretical of sorts. They don't hold the same respect for the shades of the dead or for your ancestors as the other Orcan tribes do. They're an outcast even amongst the Orcan. They devour the flesh and souls of the living and desecrate the souls of the dead in order to gain their power. If your clan was taken by the White Fangs, well, you have to find them quickly. But you know that you have at least a little bit of time. They have to prepare their rituals before they can do anything.
She thinks for a moment. Well, I say let's get going. Let's.
We will need more help.
Let's
We'll need more help than this if we are to take on an entire tribe. I'm sure you're not that foolish. Surely.
True, we do have a group of friends. A few hours back, the way we came, I'm sure they'll be willing to help.
We should reconvene
And
with them.
quick question: the village, is it completely burnt to ash, or are there buildings,
There's like
stable enough buildings for people
there.
to be in?
It's like any building that's left. If you nudge it even slightly, it's gonna fall down. There's like nothing
Okay.
here for you.
All right.
Marcus, how do you react to finding two of the other masters? presumably at this point the only two that are left. If you're there, you're okay, there we go.
I rush to them. I rush to them for guidance.
All right. How do you greet them? They don't seem to recognize you underneath all of your heavy clothing that you have.
It's me, Marcus. What the heck are we going to do?
One of them looks at you, Duranka, and they recognize your voice seemingly. Marcus, you're here from you are the same Pandoran from the school, are you not?
Yes. A lot of things have changed, but I'm still me.
What are you doing here? You should be back in Circa.
Circus sank into the ocean.
Sank into the ocean?
I haven't been drinking either.
Oh, that is... And they look at you for a moment. I see, you're not joking, are you? You never were one for jokes anyway.
Not good ones.
Especially not good ones. And I don't think you would joke about something as serious as that. What of the other masters? What of Stride, Pius, Umbris?
I don't know definitely if they're dead, but I haven't seen them since it happened.
You know, real quick, because this kind of got lost in the details. You don't know exactly what happened to Stride. You know Master Stride is dead. You saw him, like, get killed. But Umbris and Pius are, like, in some sort of, like, comatose state.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I saw one killed, and Umbros and Pius. I don't think they're dead, but they're not moving. They're not in good shape.
I see. Are they with you? Back where your other friends are?
Yeah, we didn't abandon them or anything, but I worry about them when I have time to worry about something besides the whole world.
I see. Then there is not a moment to waste. Let us reconvene with your friends and then decide upon a course of action. You can lead the way, right?
Oh, yeah.
That we can.
Good. What is your name, then, fellow clansman? They're referring to you, Kasha.
Kasha Darkfin.
Well then, Kasha Darkfin. My sister. It seems that we have much to do. Let us hope that Termina guides us. And they begin to follow you back to the other location. Switching back over to Gemini and Valan. Gemini, you said you wanted to do a scene, right?
Yeah, I guess, are we doing the before Valan wakes up and I'm starting to make the bodies?
Yeah, we can do that if you want.
Okay. So, Gemini takes the large crate of Terrans, and I open the locks, and I just look amongst all the gems inside, and I run my hand through them, hearing them speak to me.
As you do this, you hear like the screaming and pleading for help. It's just so many voices all at once. Just help! Help! Why are you doing this? Please! Just so many voices all at once, just barraging your mind, and you can't help but to just like instinctively withdraw your hand away.
I cast earth magic and I make a body out of the earth beneath my feet.
Gotcha.
I take one of the gems and I hold it in my hand.
Okay. The lone voice is just pleading for you to let it go.
Listen to me. We have a great evil headed our way that is trying to consume your kind.
The voice says to you, Why should I trust anything you have to say? You were one of the ones that attacked us.
You are right. But now we must join forces to defeat the greatest evil known to the world. And I shove him inside the body.
Okay. A moment passes as the Terran takes control of the body. They recoil back for a second as they look you over. Why? Why attack us and then why give me a body?
I'm not the man I was before.
What changed?
I fell in love. I met friends. I had a business. The usual things that change a man.
The Terran looks at you for a moment and they say, if you are really a changed man, you'll give the rest of us a body as well.
And that is why I summoned you here, my friend. I do not have enough mana to build everyone. Are you prepared to fight the evil that comes? Because if we don't stop it here and now, it is going to destroy your world. It's going to destroy your land.
They look to the side for a moment, and then they look out to the ocean, then to the pile of gems in the box, and then they look over to you. If there is such an evil, I will fight it, but I swear no loyalty to you.
That is fine.
And they quickly begin to help you to form these bodies.
Perfect.
A bit passes, and then the scene with Valan happens, and now we are back to the present. So, Valan, you're watching as this like army of Terran is being formed. What do you take of this?
Valan thought he was dreaming at first. He's still having a hard time trying to figure out how he's not on the ship, but for the most part, when he comes back from the walk, he's kind of gone over and accepted, I guess what's happening. He asked Gemini, I guess Gemini, if you're still working, you would see Valan walking back down the path from the forest or whatever setting we're currently in.
Desolate snow all around us.
Terrible. You see him walking slowly and shivering, like teeth chattering, as he comes back up to you. Do you still have those keys by chance?
Keys?
Yeah, the ones from back on the ship, for the jar.
The key for the jar? Oh, the key for the jar. Yes, I forgot I had that. Yes, I have it. Why? The jar is in the bottom of the ocean.
Yes, I don't know why, but I was thinking about it. Maybe a holdover from my long nap a long nap.
Huh.
Anyway,
Valan, just so you are aware, my friend, you remember the dragon that we seen in the town?
yes.
And Circa before Circa sank? Yeah, the dragon's coming here to eat all these Terrans, and I would rather fight the dragon on land than at sea because we'd all drowned. So, that is what's coming. The others went to go get help. The ship left to drop the refugees off. We'll be back in 7 days, and hopefully we are here to be picked up and rescued.
Alright.
That's
And
the
you
whole
guys
rundown.
do realize I was only asleep for 10, 11 hours?
Yes. Here are your keys.
He takes them and nonchalantly stuffs them in his pocket. What is this? How do you know about a dragon? How could you possibly know a dragon's coming?
The dragon is made of Terran eyes, and he destroyed the school, which had the eye of the Terran that was inside the school. So
Gotcha.
it only makes sense that the dragon made of Terran eyes would want more Terran eyes.
Yeah, alright. And how would it know where to find them?
Well, there's a crate of 2,000 Terran eyes right there. Solid crate of 2,000 Terran eyes. Magical dragon. Seeked out in a floating island that moves around the world, specifically to destroy the school. So I'm pretty sure that it would want to consume an easy meal of 2,000 Terran eyes that were completely helpless.
Huh. And this is the dragon that sank Circa?
Correct, with all the demons' help.
With all the demons.
With all the demons, yeah, so I'm very glad that you threw the gosh darn demon in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Quick question, one
Yes.
more time. Why don't we just leave the Terrans here and we go somewhere else?
We push it somewhere else. I thought about that idea, and I didn't want them to kill us at sea. And I was pretty sure that we were going to have a full-scale mutiny, so...
Gotcha. Alright.
So if they come back in 7 days, then, we'll see where we're at. If they don't, whenever I find my brother in the ship, I'll kill them all.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, is there anything, I guess, for me to do? I mean, I don't really have experience fighting dragons.
Neither does any of us, but we don't want to die. So, I would...
Quick question, hypothetically.
Uh-huh.
Do you think a demon might help in our cause? Once again, just a holdover from that dream.
Maybe if you strike a good deal with it?
Huh.
Like, sell your soul? I don't know.
Got you.
It kind of seemed like the dragons and the demons were working together, though. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he might know something. I mean, this hypothetical demon, that is.
Are demons just essence of souls, I wonder?
Are you saying that like in game or out of character?
Both.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We've seen the physical forms of the demons. So I'm wondering if the demons come back to here that we're gonna see physical forms, or do they do possession? I don't know how they do it. Anyway, we got to finish building this army here. We're about to have 2,000 Terran soldiers.
Ooh,
So-
all right. Do they eat?
They do not.
That's great, because I didn't have anything. Do you have anything to eat?
I have wine. That's about it.
All right. I'm gonna go walk around.
Oh, actually,
again.
no. I have rations. I actually do have rations.
I would say your brother probably left you at least a little bit of food.
Yeah, I forgot. I had food left over in my character sheet. You hungry, Valon? Here you go.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave you to this. Obviously very busy. And I'm gonna go. Walk around, maybe build a fire, eat a little rations. But I'll be back sometime towards the end of the 2000.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Out of character, I'd like to walk a little whiles away and talk to this little demon friend of mine. See what we can figure out here.
All right, let's go ahead and get that on. So, how do you like walk to like a secluded area of the town, or are you like walking out of the town, or?
I'm walking out of the town, trying to be discreet in the woods.
There's like no woods around here. It's like tundra. It's like snow everywhere.
All right. Maybe a part of the town where I could, depending on what the town's like, maybe
There's
like
a
an old shed.
yeah. There's plenty of buildings you could like hide out in where you wouldn't be seen.
Okay, yeah. Let me find one of those. A place where a man can talk to himself in peace.
Okay. You find such a building and you make double sure that you're not being watched or followed or none of that bullshit, because you ain't having it this time. And you're alone. Unless they're really damn good at hiding, you're alone.
Alright. I'll pull
Meow.
out the jar.
You bring out the jar, and as your hand lays on it, you hear the demon's voice within your mind, and it says, "So we meet again, then.
Oh, yes.
I have
Of
you
course I
to
will.
thank for not being at the bottom of the ocean."
Oh, well, of course. I'd never actually let anything happen. Things just didn't go according to plan. I thought you would have been freed by now. Luckily for you, Valan, takes out the keys slowly and kind of dramatically. He's not sure that the jar can see, but in case it can, he wants to, show it up.
Oh my god, it's the jar.
That reaction is fucking perfect. That's what everybody else is thinking right now, too. Oh my god, it's the jar. Anyways, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, I'm shaking. If anybody was saying they'd see me shaking a pair of keys in front of a jar, mumbling to myself. But basically, talking to it, I say, before I let you out, it seems like we're in some trouble. So I need you to give up information first.
What is it that you wish to know, kinsman?
What was that dragon?
One of my kin, one of my ilk, another demon, a powerful one.
And what does it want exactly? Seems like an odd place to show up.
Retribution.
At the odd time. What did anybody at Circa do to that dragon?
Have you seen its form? The eyes that it has?
Yeah, you can't not see all those eyes. It's kind of creepy.
All of those souls were banished, given up for something fleeting, and all of them wish for retribution against that person that banished them. They are, how do I say, an idol to that person's sin, and it will hunt him to the ends of the earth and beyond, for all of eternity if need be.
And do all of those eyes have different target individuals, or is it all focused on one individual?
On one individual.
And the dragon wasn't able to get them during the siege of Circa?
Most likely not. They have proven to be elusive for a very long time now.
Well, it seems that the dragon's probably on its way here now, for some odds that we have. What would it want with those if they're not related to this retribution plan?
To free them, so that they do not befall the same fate as all of them have. They seek only their target, only the one who has committed such an atrocity, to bring him to justice.
Gotcha. Well, if that's the case, in times like this, it seems like I'm really going to need... How can I put this? Not necessarily a friend. I don't want to be too forward about what's going on, but someone who knows this area. I'm not saying we have to save everybody or every Terran, but I would at least like to get myself and my friends out of this mess. So what say you? I'll free you, and just like we agreed earlier, if I, free you, if I let you out, the only thing I need from you is for you to, how can I put this? Be loyal for just a while. Not forever, but until I finish a deed that I'm trying to accomplish myself.
What is your goal, then? What do you seek in the long term? What is it you desire?
To be honest with you, I'm still putting it together myself. It's a long story, much too long to be talking about in this cold and harsh environment. But it's not a retribution plan. I don't need you to kill anybody or anything. Just find somebody.
Who are you
Find
searching for?
How can I put it? It's... Hold on, give me actually just 1 second, because I forgot what I called it. Gotta
Okay.
go to the character sheet.
Okay. Are you looking for the alchemist's name, by chance?
The alchemist, but also the god dang, the name of the item.
Asphodel's Rose.
Got you. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Owls for Dolls Rose.
Here, I'll just... Because it's... Okay, I'll just put it in the general chat, or dice rolls chat, just so everybody can see the name. Okay. As for your request, the demon considers your words for a moment. If what you're saying is true, and the dragon is truly on its way here, then your desire may not be too far off.
What do you mean?
I see. Well, I cannot blame you for not knowing. It is lost wisdom. Dark wisdom. Tell me, what would you be willing to give up for eternal life?
Well, my non-eternal life, for one.
But why would it stop at just your non-eternal life?
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily. In fact, I'll give somebody else's non-eternal life more easily.
Then you've already found your answer. If you just connect the pieces together.
But how would you... I mean, I understand the concept, but I think that's why I'm looking for the item. How would I extract that essence in the first place?
There are means to work with the soul. There is a reason why no one has been able to replicate such an artifact. They're all looking in the wrong place. Asphodel was known as an alchemist, but he was also many other things. Among such things, he was a worker of the soul and of life.
That sounds like one of those religious kooks that you see yelling about the different eons in the streets.
There is truth in what they say, but there are also many misconceptions. Shadows, if you might. Though I'm sure you're familiar with such things.
I'm quite familiar, but apparently not familiar enough. So is this item, is it possible to find it? Would you be able to help me with this quest?
I would wager that if you were to find it, a good place to start would be with the alchemist himself. And you should be able to find the alchemist himself if what you say is true and the dragon is truly on its way here. They are drawn to each other, inexorably. It might even be said to be fated. if you believe in such a thing.
Well, I don't want to put too much into it right now. After all, I might be fated to lose this encounter.
I suppose we shall see. As for
So
our
what-
deal, I am willing to serve you for a year's time. I will answer your questions and aid you in any capacity that I can in exchange for my freedom from this cursed jar.
Alright. And what exactly is it that you want? After all, you were probably locked into this jar for a reason. I don't know if I want to be responsible for saving the world one time only to doom it again.
I was locked into this jar as a specimen, if you might, by a woman much like yourself. One who hides within the shadows, who wears many different faces.
Another traveler.
This was many,
Alright.
many years ago. I doubt that
But
she
that's-
still lives. All I care for is my freedom.
Well, the day for that is upon you. I just need one more thing then. A year's time should be enough. If you're able to help me acquire Esvidal's rolls before that time period, you will be free to go. But by attain, I mean in my possession, with me out of any immediate harm. So understand that that may require some work.
I agree to these terms.
And one last thing, after the year is over, you're not allowed to kill anybody except for in self-defense.
I cannot guarantee that. My will
Huh.
is of a higher cause. I go where I am sent. After my time is over with you, well, there are many others out there. So I'm sure you know of how these things work.
Not exactly, but we'll have plenty of time to figure it out. Valon takes the key and puts it into the lock, turning it slowly.
As you turn it, and eventually open it, a flood of shadow mana gushes outward. It sort of engulfs you for a moment, and perhaps you feel a quick pang of panic, but it quickly subsides as the mana rests within you. You hear a voice alongside your thoughts, and it says, "I will rest within you and emerge when I am needed, or when you call."
Huh. That sounds like another friend of mine working around in there. Anyway. So, what next? How should we prepare for this dragon?
You will need allies. People who are strong. Perhaps even an army.
Well, I got great news for you. Got all of those things covered. Got about 2,000 Terran. 6 other randoms and, well, probably not that many, but a pretty solid crew.
Then we may yet have a chance.
Alright, and with that, I'm gonna, I guess, throw the jar away and walk back to, Gemini.
As you are about to throw the jar, the voice says, "Wait. We may yet find use for such an artifact. It's not every day that you find something that's capable of holding a being such as myself, after all."
True. And to think, me of all people, as much as I'm usually on top of these sorts of things, about to throw away a valuable artifact.
You are still young to the ways of this world. You will make mistakes, and you will be haunted by those mistakes. But you will learn.
He slides it into the bag and walks back into the snow.
Gotcha. In that case, we're going to swap over to Torgwin, and we're going to do like one more scene, and then we're probably going to call the game for tonight. Anyways, over to Torgwin and Farfel and Jonah. You guys, you walk all through the night. Well, not that morning is ever really going to come. It's perpetual night. But you know what I can mean, right? Okay.
Gotcha.
Anyways, you go on, and you hear Farfel say, as he's like helping Jonah along, up ahead, and he points over, and you see this like igloo structure ahead, and there's this like flag that's like billowing in the wind. That's where my friend lives. We should be safe once we reach there. He looks around him. I would hope, at least. And you go forward, and eventually, like as you approach the this igloo, you hear Farfel. He yells out, "Dan, Dan!" And you wait for a moment outside of this igloo, a few maybe 15 or so feet away, and out from this this structure, you see a cloaked figure, hunched over, walking out with a staff. They look over to you. You can't discern any of their features, Torgwin, but they say, and you recognize their voice as being female. I wasn't expecting you, Farfel. It wasn't so long that you left. Who are these others that you've brought? And he replies, they are acquaintances of mine. They mean no harm, but we need to ask your help in a matter. Can we come in? The figure turns around to their home, I suppose you could say, if you could call such a place a home. Then they turn to you. Very well. Come in. And they turn around and they walk back into the igloo. Well, you heard her. Let's go. You first. He gestures to you, Torgwin.
Alright. Turgwin starts... walks after her.
Yep. You enter into the igloo, and it's actually warm in here. Much warmer than it is outside, in fact. There's a sort of like a fire that's going on. It's a very small fire, mind you. But it is enough to illuminate somewhat inside of this place. And you smell something familiar. Something that you didn't think you would smell for a while. And it hits you that that's the smell of tea. That's the exact same kind of smell that you would smell when you were with Umbrus, in fact. And you're just hit with nostalgia all at once. It feels like forever ago that, you were acting as an apprentice of sorts to him. You look around on the inside of this igloo, and what you can see, in the glimpses of light in the shadows, you see these masks hanging from the inside of this igloo. They're of all different sorts of people. You see Pandoran, you see Ulf, you see Orkin, you see Flug. And they seem to be very intricately made. You've never seen a craftsman, able to, replicate the features of the various different races to such a degree. It's baffling, to say the least. As you're, examining this, the woman says to you, I don't suppose you would mind having a spot of tea then, Of course, I understand if you wish to decline.
No, something to warm us up, or me up, would be great. Thank you.
She retrieves a glass from a nearby sack and she pours you some, as well as Farfel and Jonah. The two of them, they gather around this little small fire that you have going on. And after you are, handed your glass, she asks, "So then, can I ask why I am being visited so suddenly? You usually take some time between your visits, Farfel. Or would one of you like to explain why?" You can say something if you want to, Torgwin.
Mm. Mm. Torgwin basically just warms his hands on at the tea, like on the tea, and gestures to Fardo that he might start.
Well, it's a bit of a long story, but we need your help for something. Apparently, well, I don't exactly understand all of the details. The Olafir was actually there when everything went down, but there's been a attack by a bunch of demons, apparently, and one of them, some sort of like dragon or something that looks like a dragon, is going to be coming here soon. And well, I know that you used to talk about the different stories about all of that, so I figured maybe you could. And before he's able to finish saying what he's saying, she says, "No. My days of fighting are behind me. The most that I can do for you is offer advice. For all that will be worth to you. I'm saddened to hear about Circa, though. That's a shame. Truly." As for this demon that you say is coming, if it has the power to sink an entire island, well, I don't know what you three would be able to accomplish against it. Unless you thought that I was going to somehow be able to carry you to victory. Jonah then speaks up and says, "Well, actually, we, it's not just us. We have a few other friends helping us, actually. They're waiting for us to return. For all that's worth. I'm not sure what good about a dozen people will be against a creature like that, but it's better than us three, right?" She pauses for a moment and says, "You would need an army to be able to go up against a creature of that magnitude. I mean, we're talking about something that could be an aspect of Kantra herself here. A fragment of a god come down into our world. To go up against such a thing is suicide. Against any small force, that is. Unless you have some sort of elaborate plan." Torgwin, as you're looking around more inside of this igloo, I'm sorry to cut you off there, by the way. What were you going to say?
Yeah, it's fine. Well, if it is a demon that we're facing, and it has several, like, Terran eyes in itself, would it be easier to fight in the labyrinth itself? Or does it not get powered, like more power through the eyes?
The figure turns towards you as you mention the labyrinth, and she says, "I see that you are a bit more learned than the rest of the ilk around here. Do you have a teacher, perhaps?"
For a few months, months, I had one. But he is, well, let's say unconscious.
I see. You remind me of him. He was just like you when he was your age.
Torgwyn turns his head, like, questioningly. I guess
Hesitant. And unwilling to face things head on his own. Always going to others to ask for aid. I wonder if he ever changed in his old age. He couldn't do the things that I do. He had to find his own way, which is respectable. It's not a path that everyone can follow, after all. So I assume he's dead then? From the way that you speak of him.
He is. Well, he is still breathing, for that matter. But, well, a demon apparently, well, took his soul. Or, at least,
Is that so?
it seems like it.
Well, that's unfortunate. If what you're saying is true, it's very unlikely that his soul will ever return. Most of those who venture into the labyrinth or are otherwise taken there, they rarely return. But perhaps there is a way you might be able to save him. If you're up to the task, that is. How much do you value his life?
Quite a bit, but what is the thing I would have to do?
You would have to venture into the labyrinth, to its very center, and then back out. Though returning from it is usually much easier than venturing inward. The path in is the path out, after all. I can teach you such techniques if you're interested in learning more.
I'm always interested in learning more, but I'm not sure if I'm up to the task. Well, now at least.
I see. You've piqued my interest, then. And she begins to rise up, slowly. You can tell she seems to be having some difficulty moving. She seems shaky on her feet, at best, and seems to be heavily relying on this staff of hers for walking. She goes around and she gathers a sack and begins to stuff various different items within it. I am not very useful to you in a fight, but I might be able to aid you in other ways. If anything, this will provide some form of entertainment in this wasteland. I'll go with you, back to where you plan on fighting this thing. Perhaps we can come up with a plan. If anything, this will just provide a good way to end my life. At best. She turns towards you. What is it? You seem like you want to say something.
No, I'm just not sure if this is a pleasant way to die. But
What
well,
better way is there to
it is-
die than fighting for what you believe in?
if it is fighting what you believe in, what you are believing in, I don't have anything to convince you otherwise. I just no, don't mind me. Torgun just smiles a bit.
You're a strange one, but not the strangest I've met, as she begins to continue to gather her supplies. How far of a walk is it? Farfel speaks up and he says, it's going to be a bit. Do you think you're going to have to rest on the way there? And she thinks for a moment. No, I think I can manage. Let's go. And she rises and begins to exit out of the igloo with all of you in tow. And with that, I think we're actually going to go ahead and end the session here. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.